auditors! Welcome back to Voicy Tales. Today I'm back with another thriller murder story, The Revenge. Once upon a time, there lived 5 best friends named Kabir, Shekhar, Reyansh, Raghav and Vijay. 5 of them studied in Mumbai's St. Xavier's College and were all established in their respective careers. Kabir was a surgeon in Mumbai's City Hospital. Shekhar became a professor at the same college where he had studied. Reyansh worked as a computer engineer in a multinational company at Delhi. Raghav and Vijay had become partners in construction business at Varanasi. Apart from being business partners, Raghav and Vijay also lived in the same building and were neighbors. All the 5 friends were settled in their lives and were living happily with their wives and kids. Kabir's 10th marriage anniversary was approaching, and his wife suggested that they should celebrate the special day with Kabir's 4 friends and their families. So Kabir made a conference call to his friends and invited them over at his place. Shekhar, Reyansh, Raghav and Vijay all arrived with their families at Kabir's residence 2 days before the celebration. Kabir's house was quite big and luxurious. The house was surrounded with a plush green lawn. The interior design of his house was captivating. A huge chandelier enhanced the beauty of the living area. The 5 families sat down at a huge 20-seater dining table to have their brunch. It was a lavish meal prepared delicately, keeping in mind everyone's food preferences. After enjoying their meal, they started discussing about their schedule as Shekhar, Reyansh, Raghav and Vijay would stay there for only 5 days. They decided to spend the first 2 days of their trip at Shekhar's farmhouse in Pune and celebrate the anniversary over there. The 5 families boarded a minibus and left for Pune by the evening of the same day. Shekhar's farmhouse was located at a peaceful place surrounded with greenery. It also had a swimming pool and a playground. Everyone was dead tired by the time they reached their destination. So all of them went to sleep as soon as they reached their rooms. The next morning, after having their breakfast, everyone went out for sightseeing. But something bothered Reyansh, and soon after that, he fainted. He was carried back to his room and a doctor was called. The doctor said Reyansh was worried about something which caused a stress attack and made him faint. According to Reyansh, it was just some pending workload that made him panic and ultimately faint. But he confided in his friends the actual reason of his panic. Reyansh had noticed someone secretly clicking pictures of them during the sightseeing, and he was worried that someone was trying to harm them. But Kabir discarded the claim, saying that a lot of people come to click pictures of the beautiful scenery there, so it might be just one of them. Later that evening, the ladies were playing cards in the lawn while the children were playing among themselves. Reyansh was lying in his bed, accompanied by his friends. Kabir told them about the wine cellar downstairs. Vijay, Kabir and Shekhar went downstairs to fetch some wine, while Raghav and Reyansh waited for the trio. Suddenly, there was a power cut. A few minutes later, everyone heard Raghav screaming at the top of his voice. The men turned on their phones' flashlights and rushed upstairs. A few minutes later, the electricity was back, and the ladies and the children also went upstairs. Everyone was shocked to see a dead body lying on the bed, surrounded by a pool of blood. Riansh was dead. The ladies took their children downstairs, away from the disastrous scene, while Riansh's wife cried inconsolably. The cops were called, and the house was searched thoroughly. The cops questioned Raghav, as he was the only person in the room with Riansh when the incident took place. But Raghav said that he had received a call from an unknown number, and because of the network issues, he had walked out to the balcony to attend the call. When he came in and turned on his phone's light, he was shocked to discover Riansh lying dead. Everyone believed that Raghav would never do anything to harm Riansh. An officer reported that only one person was missing, a nurse who was appointed by Kabir to attend Riansh. On the other hand, Kabir confirmed that the unknown number from which Raghav had received the call belonged to the nurse. The police were able to trace her easily. She couldn't run far away as she was in her mid-50s. The nurse confessed that she had indeed murdered Riansh to take revenge for her son's death. The lady's name was Lali, and she had lost her son 14 years ago. Her son Lalit used to study in the same college as the 5 friends. He was a year junior to them and was quite shy. The 5 of them ragged and tortured Lalit, which caused him to commit suicide. Apparently, this lady was his mother, and she had waited for 14 long years to take revenge upon the group of friends who were the reason behind her son's death. The lady was given lifetime imprisonment on charges of murdering Riansh. The other 4 friends, Kabir, Shekhar, Raghav and Vijay, were subjected to imprisonment of 2 years for ragging Lalit and indirectly causing his death. 2 years later, the 4 friends were released and they went to Varanasi, where the 5 wives were running the business of Raghav and Vijay jointly. Kabir and Shekhar had lost their jobs because of their criminal record, and Rian's wife was left with no husband or job. So all the 5 wives decided to join hands and run Raghav and Vijay's already established business to earn their living. The 5 of them were living in the same building in different flats. That night, the ladies cooked food together and ate at Vijay's house. After the meal, the lights went off suddenly, which reminded everyone of the murder 2 years ago. In the dim moonlight, Kabir spotted someone approaching him with a knife. He held the attacker's hands firmly and pinned her down. Vijay turned on the emergency lights and Raghav unmasked the attacker. It was Kabir's wife. Kabir was taken aback to see his own wife trying to murder him. It turned out that Lali was just an old maid who had helped Kabir's wife in executing her plan. In reality, Kabir's wife was Lalit's sister, who had married Kabir with the only intention of taking revenge upon the 5 friends for her brother's death. She was arrested by the cops and taken to the prison. Later on, to provide a complete family to their kids, Kabir married Rian's wife and the 5 families merged into one, continuing to run their business as partners and living the rest of their lives in regret for losing people because of their own mistakes. That was it for today. If you enjoyed it, then do hit the like button and comment below your experience. Consider sharing and subscribing for more of such videos.